Hey people, how are you all doing today? It's your favorite podcaster Anu behind the mic with yet another podcast on marketing and this one on those creepy or sexy or grumpy voices that you hear in ads. Yep, we are talking voiceovers. And to help me with it is our very own movie buff, Mukesh, who is supposed to be here 5 minutes back but late as always. Oh, here he is. So, why are you late, bro? I told you we are doing a podcast today for our listeners.
Okay, I know. Sorry, but I did calculate the time, but somewhere I got late at the movies.
What? You went to a movie? What is the movie that you went that is so important than this podcast?
It's GVM's Vinduthanindadu Kaadu. You know how long I've been waiting for this movie, right? That's why I was late. Enough, Anu. Can we leave this now?
Okay, cool. So tell me, how was the movie by the way?
It was okay, but then it did miss the usual GVM touch.
GVM Touch?
It is something only a GVM fan could understand. It's hard to articulate. I felt that some style from his previous movies was missing. Also, the movie was confusing at parts, and the heroine
Okay,
was.
okay. We are in the middle of a marketing podcast, remember? Not a
Oh,
movie review.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, chill. So, it, yes, it was a movie worth watching. That I need to give it to you. But you said something about lack of style and confusion in the script. Even I felt that at some points that was missing. So, do you think it might have something to do with the missing voiceovers? A GVM movie with no voiceovers? I haven't even imagined such a thing was possible.
Oh, yes, I haven't thought it about it that way. It very well could be. Typically, a voiceover takes us through the protagonist's mind in GV movies. They narrate to us what the guy thinks, and hence it was easier to connect with him and follow the plot, unlike this one.
Exactly. Apart from being a marketing tool, making the movie's narrative cool and engaging, voiceovers usually give us a peek into the character's mind, which would explain to us clear motivations, viewpoints, beliefs, and other things, which one might hold deep inside his heart. They introduce us to the raw character of the protagonist in a clear and concise way, thus getting rid of any confusions one might have about the plot.
Makes sense, Anu. I think it's you who's forgetting that we are doing a marketing podcast and not a movie script writing. Yes, voiceovers are immense use in movies. I accept that. But why are we talking about that in voiceover and ads podcast? They just last for a minute. What could I be so confused about here in ads? How are voiceovers of concrete use in ads?
Yes, your concern is absolutely right. In movies, they aid in clarifying the plot of a 2.5-hour story. But let me tell you something. In ads, they do a lot more in a minute's constraint. More than movies, ads are the home ground for voiceovers, where they score the highest. For ads to convey a powerful story through direct communication by the characters that's being featured, it would take about 5 minutes to drive home the core point. But voiceovers can do it in a minute or less, and in many contexts would make the setup less awkward than a conversation.
It does ring true, but I'm not quite clear about what you're trying to say.
Right, let's take an example then. Do you use perfumes?
Yes, I do.
Right, why do you use it?
That's a weird question, Anu. Of course, just why everybody uses it to stay fresh and to smell good.
I don't believe you here. Let's say I'm going to hold a gun to your head, and one dishonest answer means a bullet through your skull. Now tell me, why do you use perfumes?
Okay. To be attractive, perhaps.
One last chance, Mukesh.
Okay. Yep, I accept. To impress girls.
See, I got you there. Now tell me, why didn't you say that earlier?
Do you want me to embrace myself before all our dearly listeners?
As if you haven't already. Anyways, I understand that it would have an awkward to say that out loud. But now imagine a brand trying to voices out this secret need of its consumers explicitly in an advertisements. Of course, there will be powerful visuals trying to say the same thing, but have you felt that the visuals have made you delve deep into an ad that you forget the product that they talked about?
Uh, are you there in my head, Anu?
I might be. Back to the track. Voiceovers help us remember between the clutters, is what I was trying to say.
Well, okay, that sounds interesting. But this is just one, right? I do remember you saying that ads are homegrown for voiceovers. Do you have more impressive things to help me with?
Yes, I do. Let me ask you the brand of perfume that you buy.
Sedford.
Okay, why do you buy that?
I don't know. It has an attractive ad.
But we know that most ads just show men trying to seduce women with sprays and stuffs, right? So how does your favorite brand differentiate itself to position it in a way that you come to like? That's where voiceovers come to give you a distinct character to your brand. When you think of a perfume brand, do you hear the strong, deep voice that tells you something about set wit?
New Pro Vitamin Enriched Set Wet Gels.
Similarly, when I say axe, do you hear a husky woman's voice trying to seduce you through the screen? These are tools which help brands to connect with the consumer in distinct ways. Say, like how your brand wants you to feel sexy about yourself, while axe wants you to believe that the women think you are sexy.
Okay, I accept your point here. But I do like it when people actually talk in ads instead of faceless voiceovers.
Right, I understand we all like conversations, but how many times have you switched or skipped an ad because the message took too long to be conveyed?
Umpteen times, yes.
It's not for voiceover. If not for voiceovers, ads would have taken a long time to convey a story, and there are also chances for the message to get lost. Wouldn't you find it distracting if the cast keeps on speaking to you the whole time while doing something? It is general psychology that we would look at the lips of the person speaking instead of their actions, thus nullifying the core objective of an ad. Let's consider an aerial ad wherein a voiceover narrates usage instructions as the visual demonstrates the same. The ad is short, conveys the core message in a concise manner. Would you be equally interested if the same ad had a person talking to you, taking you through the entire process themselves?
Oh, I would certainly have lost my patience mostly. Now I understand how useful a tool it is. But sometimes I felt that the voiceover is so out of place. I remember seeing ads where the focus is a male, but they would use a female voiceover. I mean, what explains the product and the narrative for such a thing?
That's again a great application of voiceovers, actually, something you need to be awed rather than being confused about. Let me tell you something. Voiceovers are nothing but voices in your heads, like you're speaking to yourself. Don't you always have other voices in your head, ranging from your mother to your friends to your crush? That's what these marketeers leverage. Take, for instance, the same perfume ad. In some instances, it's the thinking about his own sexiness, and some other times, it's the voice of the girls he might try impressing that night. This again helps the brand to position the product and systematically target its audience.
What? Did you become a voiceover expert of sorts overnight? It's great to hear you talk about it. How deep did you actually get into? Did you get into tones and pictures as well?
I could sense that you are taking a dig on me, but I actually did delve deeper into the world of voiceovers, which included tones. Remember the perfume ad that we were talking about a while back?
Uh,
Well, what kind of voiceover do you remember hearing in ads?
a kind of husky female voice which is deep and seductive.
That painstakingly detailed, but yes, correct. And what kind of voices do you hear in an hammam ad?
Soft, kind of soothing voice. Where are you going with this, Anu?
It's actually quite apparent here, right? When you see or purchase a perfume, the voice that you hear is usually that of your girlfriend or any crush of yours. Thus, that husky voice seducing you to buy the product.
The Black Collection from Fog for Men in Black. Where are you going tonight?
Similarly, when you are out for a purchase of a soap, you tend to hear either your voice or your mother's voice. And it's that caring, soothing voice which kind of puts you at home immediately.
100% பியோர் நீம் ஆயில் உள்ள ஹமாம் உங்கள் சருமத்தை வெயில், வியர்வை மற்றும் மாசிலிருந்து பாதுகாக்கும். ஹமாம் இருக்க பயமேன்.
Oh, so voiceovers are product dependent. That much is clear. But are there any products where different brands use different strategies in the same product, like within a soap market or something?
For that matter, tones not only differ from product to product, they could very well differ in a certain category as well for obvious positioning purposes. For example, a standard Maruti Suzuki Swift would have a no nonsense male voice sternly explaining the features in a matter of fact way, but in a luxury car like a BMW, we have a deep male voice which is kind of feeling high driving the car. This voice is a standing for the audience for showing how they might feel after the luxury car, for which feel is more important than the features like mileage. But in a Swift, the feature explanation should reach the audience clearly as their purchase decision depends more on features than the feel.
Irresistible. The all new Suzuki Swift. Temptation comes alive.
Go. Go on. Go first. Go forth. Go explore. Go with the waves. Lead the brave. Go bold. Go strong. Go to oceans where no one's gone. Go deep. Go steep. Go see. Try. Dare. Go everywhere. Into the storm. BMW.
Oh, I suddenly remembered. In our first NFS session, Akshay ma'am talked about gender views on marketing certain products. Does that happen here as well?
Sadly, it does exist here as well, and it is connected with the way the product has been marketed and the product marketed as well. For example, it is very common to see ads of a smartphone with a male voiceover explaining the features, or for that matter, any car ad as well. For some reason, marketers believe that the voice of male brings more believability to it. Also, even when the choice of automobiles is a family decision, the male is still the decision maker of which car to buy. Also, driving is viewed as a male activity in India with only 5% license holders are women. But even such explanation couldn't be given for other ads like mobiles or financial ads, even when a lot of women take part in a financial decision of family, with 32% of women taking life insurance.
Oh, those are actually some great insights. If only someone knocks some sense into these marketers. I did get to know a lot about voiceover marketing. Just one more thing, if I can ask. In the last GVM movie, people are complaining that the movie was overdone with voiceovers, even when they did expect voiceovers in the movie. So, is there a standard amount of time or something that is ideal for an ad for voiceovers? And maybe even the placement of voiceovers in different parts of ads? Thank you, Anu, for enlightening me and our listeners on the voiceover marketing. Now I get to know why GM is regarded as one of the best directors out there with his usage of voiceovers. And with that, it is, I guess, time is up for my next show, which I'm going back. Do you care to join me?
Yes, let's go. Thank you, audience, for staying tuned throughout the podcast. It's Anu and Mukesh signing off. Until next time.